What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Acts of Creation. And in this week's lesson, we're going to check out how we can incorporate some open strings into our metal riffage. Now, before we get started, down in the description below you can find a link for the tabs. They'll be going across the screen as well. And I am playing in a drop B tuning. Now, you don't necessarily have to be in a drop B tuning. Any drop tuning will work for this, okay? So let's check out the riff really fast, and then we'll break it down. So now, we've talked about incorporating open strings on this channel before, but mostly in a way to explore chord voicings and or come up with some simple, easy parts. And if you want to check out those videos, maybe they'll be up here or be down in the description below, okay? But this one, in a previous lesson, we talked about approaching drop tuning riffs, okay? And this is gonna pick up off of one of those riffs. Now, we're in drop B. Riff is centered around that note, and we're gonna, right away, we're gonna target our octave. We're gonna drop down a whole step, and then we're gonna move up a half step from the octave, the 6th fret on the A string. And one of the ways that I like to use open strings in riffs is this cross string dissonance, right? It's very different from going where I drop back down the step. It just doesn't sound the same. Right? I want that dissonant. Okay, so let's check that opening half of that riff, nice and slow. Okay, and then cross string dissonance right at the end, constantly jumping off that low open note, palm muted, of course. So now when this riff repeats on itself, we're actually going to slide up to the 10th fret. And instead of the open T, we're actually going to grab the open G, which is that note, okay? Which is the 10th fret note. But we're going to dip down the scale and then grab the half step dissonance again, right there. Like that. Really nice overlaying of harmonies there and overtones. Really works well for me. Right? And now we're just going to transition to a different section here, okay? Very simple, power chords on our low string, basically focusing on 3 and 5. Now, if you remember from that the drop tuning riff writing lesson, we targeted specific notes, okay? Well, the 3rd fret, that's one of those notes. That's that minor 3rd. So it's really gonna work well, and then if you go a whole step above it, again, if we reference our pentatonic scale, there's that note. It's the 3rd note of a pentatonic minor, but it is a 4th above the root note if you know your intervals. And this is another great way to incorporate some open strings, and it's extremely simple, right? This dates back to Deftones riffs, or even Nirvana, when he would strum riffs and between power chords, he would just pick up his hand and move and play open notes, so that right hand rhythm kind of keeps going. So when you do this, you just get nice overlays. And I'm not doing this to get any specific kind of chord, it's more just an effect. And in 3rd position, sounds great. And then the second half, I'm just pounding, chugging on some, really working on that right hand, okay? And then at the end of that riff, we jump up in the 12th position, again, playing off of this idea, right? Root, minor 7th, half step above, just on the low string in 12th position. and it's really quick, but that's what it is. Same idea. This time I'm crossing up, I'm still doing the half-step dissonance. Just ending it with some nice strong power chords there. And there you go. Really simple ways to incorporate open strings into your heavy metal riffage. All right? Like I said, down in the description below you can find the links for the tabs, and as always, let me know what you come up with. Until then, I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.